Well, telemarketing and robocalls, certainly annoying interruptions that seem to be on the rise these days. So Tom Stein is joining us today to discuss the differences and what you can do to try and stop all of them. Of course, we were all excited decades ago when they said the do not call list, or a decade ago. That seems to have either gone by the wayside or telemarketers have found a loophole in that, haven't they?
I think it's exactly what you just said. Telemarketers have found a loophole big enough to drive a truck
Yeah,
through.
they really have.
I mean, I think about, you probably have this experience, my cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now up to maybe 10, 15, 20 calls a day.
Yeah, you just say, I'm not going to answer. I'm sure it's a telemarketer. And sure enough, they don't leave a message. You know who it is.
That's right. And we do have the do not call registry. So what is that? That was it's a federal law, it's a federal program designed so that all of us can go to the do not call website. So Google that if you haven't done it. You certainly have to do this. Go to the do not call website and register your home phone, register your cell phone. Make sure it's registered. If you don't remember if you did it, you can go and check and they'll confirm that it's on there. That's the first thing you have to do to try to protect yourself. But as you point out, what's happened recently, particularly in the last few years, is that the ability of criminals to get around this law technologically has proliferated to the point where we are overwhelmed with two types of calls. And the law treats these differently. The first is a telemarketing call, which is different from a robocall.
Yes.
A telemarketing call is where someone is calling and they're offering to sell you something and there's a real human being on the end of the phone, but you never asked for the call.
Right.
Those are supposed to only take place during the daytime.
Okay.
Robocalls are calls that we're getting all the time where there's not a person or it's a pre-recorded voice and you're just getting a message. Well, robocalls are illegal. They're not supposed to happen at all. But of course, both telemarketing during the day and after hours and robocalls, it seems like all day long, are happening, and they're happening more and more, it seems, all the time. So one of the things that has happened recently is this area of law is really governed most strongly at the federal level by the Federal Trade Commission. The Federal Trade Commission just announced at the end of June that they were beginning a huge enforcement action that they were calling Operation Call It Quits.
Nice. And
they were going after a group of defendants who the FTC estimated, get this, had been making more than 1 billion calls, illegally, 1 billion calls. So I wish I could tell you in this segment how to make it stop.
Right. Some reminders, though.
There are some reminders. Obviously, do not call registry. Also, you can go on both the FTC's website and don't forget the Michigan Attorney General, who, like many states' Attorney General, has gotten involved in trying to help this fight. And you can file complaints there.
There you go.
If you get one of these calls, remember to acknowledge your rights. If you've been on the do not call list, tell the caller, I'm on the do not call list. Don't take me off your list.
Right.
So, in a way, it's like, don't despair. Help may be on the way. But another thing that you can do is you can change your do not disturb settings on your cell phone so that only calls that you know actually ring through. So there's legal and practical ways. I wish we could solve this problem, but hopefully at a state and federal level we'll get a solution here.
And there's the information. People track you down at 301-3333. Other ways too?
Online, www.sinusdramus.com, or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.